We are live. Welcome, guys, back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle, and today, baseball, and a very small slate of it. Only 5 games that we'll get to talk about today, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead. We'll look back at yesterday. I will say it was once. I just can't win. It's annoying. I have some unfortunate losers. Nationals and Padres were never close. The over in the Cubs game was a winner. Diamondbacks lose by a run. The under in the Brewers game was never close. Minnesota gets walked off on after having 2 outs on the bottom of the ninth. All of a sudden, a infield hit, walk Ohtani, walk the third hitter, and Freeman base hit, and the game's over. I did end the night nicely with the Guardians and the Red Sox, but the damage had been done. It was another negative day, which, woohoo, 5 losing days in a row. There's unfortunately some things are just not falling my way that were during my hot streak. It is what it is. Luckily, there's only a 5-game card today, so we'll pick out a couple of them, but we're not going to go super crazy. It'll be kind of like a reset day, and then we go on from there. It has not been fun the past couple of days, but hopefully today can be a little bit of a change there. Let's go ahead and what's up, Stop Geo? Welcome. We'll start off the card with the Orioles versus the Guardians. The Guardians are minus 120 favorites with a total of 9. We got Charlie Morton taking on Logan Allen. Charlie Morton this year has been awful, although I want to say he has been better as of late, but last start he allowed 7 earned runs in 5 1/3, so he got blown up. But previous to that, he was actually pitching well, where he's allowed in the previous 9 starts 1, 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 0, 2, 1. He's been pitching better. It's just that last start he got blown up. Let's actually read off his stats for the year. 21 appearances, 15 starts, a 5-8 record, 5.58 ERA, 88 and 2/3 innings pitched, 55 earned runs, 40 walks, and 92 strikeouts. Do we get the Charlie Morton that we've been seeing the last month and a half, 2 months, or do we get the one that pitched against Tampa? I don't know. I am giving the pitching advantage to Logan Allen. He's made 19 appearances, 18 starts, a 6-8 record, a 4.06 ERA, 93 and 1/3 innings pitched, 43 earned runs, 38 walks, and 74 strikeouts. He 100% has the pitching advantage, in my opinion. So we got that. And then you look at hitting stats. Baltimore versus lefties is awful. 4th worst in baseball. On the opposite side, you got Cleveland, who is not much better, 91st WRC+. So 91 versus 76. Hitting advantage is still with Cleveland, even though they're one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. We go look at the line movement in this one. There's not really a whole lot. It's moved one. See, it opened up at minus 122. It dropped to as low as minus 108 for Cleveland, then it's back up to 120. Kind of makes me want to go towards Cleveland. 69% of the bets, 75% of the money. I am going to go Cleveland to start my day to finish off this 4-game sweep versus the Orioles and officially kind of, kill them. Minus 120 for Cleveland. We'll go ahead and grab the Guardians to start our card today. Over 9. I don't know if I could trust the offenses because they're both bottom 5 in who they're facing. So, who's winning the World Series? Because no LA, Detroit, or New York Yankees. That's not really the thing. Is I could still see Detroit. I could still see all 3 of those teams winning the World Series. They've Mr. came on. They are all still really good teams. A lot of teams are having bad stretches right now. And I went over all of them earlier. Just because a team's has a bad stretch right now does not mean they're going to have a bad stretch for the entire year. So when you look at it, no, those teams can still totally do it. If I'm taking a shot with a team that's not the Dodgers, Detroit, or the Yankees, and of course not my Mets because that seems a little bit biased. Cubs. I think the Cubs probably have the best chance. Got Indians money line -115. Go for it. 5 MLB games. Time to the Gen action. Take Ben Shelton and DC tonight. I don't know what DC is. That's sounds like fun. What's DC? His girlfriend is Trinity Rodman, Dennis Rodman's daughter, and she's the star of the DC women's team. What's DC? Here's the deal. The Brewers are a very hot team right now. I don't see any value in betting them at this point. Just because now, and I know everybody was thinking this when the season started, that on July 24th, I'd be saying the best team in baseball is the Milwaukee Brewers. What? The top two teams in baseball are the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. So, no, I don't think there's any value though, because I also look at it this way: in order to get out of the National League, the Brewers have to win the division, which they're only a game ahead of the Cubs. And the thing is, the Cubs are going to be very, very aggressive at the deadline. They'd also have to make it past either the Mets or the Phillies. Both teams are going to be super freaking aggressive at the deadline. The Dodgers are going to be super freaking aggressive at the deadline. The Padres could have some thoughts of being really aggressive at the deadline. Even the Giants could be very aggressive at the deadline. And the question is, how aggressive are the Milwaukee Brewers going to be? How willing are they going to be to trade pieces, trade prospects? I just don't see it. I just don't see the Brewers doing enough at the deadline. And I think a bunch of teams are going to get that are already better than them, that are just not playing to it right now, are going to get better. So that's kind of my thoughts on that one. I do not think the Brewers go to the World Series. Tennis. All right, you're doing tennis. I might throw a couple bucks at it for you, just for you. But I don't really know tennis. For what it's worth, the O's and Guardians are 9-1 to the over their last 10 head-to-head games. Yes, at the same time, this is an early game, and with my thoughts on it is that I don't know if I could really trust the offenses, although the pitchers have been awful. So I don't blame you on that one. 92 degrees, wind blowing out. Yeah, the winds definitely could be a case, and the weather's perfect for hitting, but I'm not talking you off of it because I understand the pitchers. You're not going to want to back it with the pitchers, but I don't know if I could trust the offenses. But we'll keep on rolling. We get Eric Lauer and Reese Olson going today for those two teams, and the Toronto Blue Jays are now the best team in the American League. Who had that one? They're tied with the Astros for the best team in the American League. And honestly, I still think the Astros are slightly better, but Tigers -120, total of 8.5. Eric Lauer has been a very surprising factor to this Blue Jays team this year. 15 appearances, 9 starts, a 5-2 record, a 2.8 ERA, 61 innings pitched, 19 earned runs, 16 walks, 65 strikeouts. They've also won 8 out of his last 10 starts. He has been surprisingly really good this year. Reese Olson's been the same thing that Reese Olson's been. I mean, he's made all of 12 starts so far this year. 4-3 record, a 2.71 ERA, 63 innings pitched, 19 earned runs, 22 walks, and 61 strikeouts. I'm going to give the pitching advantage to Eric Lauer just because we've seen a little bit more from him, and I kind of like his stuff. I think he's the better pitcher right now. And then in terms of hitting stats, the Detroit Tigers versus lefties are 5th in baseball, 112 WRC plus. The Blue Jays against righties are, where are they? They're 107. So you've got a hitting advantage for the Detroit Tigers. So split this one right down the middle. And then when we look at line movement. And the line has moved towards the Toronto Blue Jays. It's gone from plus 120 to plus 110 for the Blue Jays. So line is moving their way. It's the money coming in that way. Money is coming on the Blue Jays, but 49% of the bets, 67% of the money. So the sharper money coming on the Blue Jays. I'm going to bet them. I am a little bit worried about the Blue Jays just because they are coming off of a big sweep. Not sweep. They won the series versus the Yankees, a big series, and then they had to travel. I feel like this could be a little bit of a weird spot, but with the market and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Blue Jays today. Pitching and market edge to Toronto. So we'll start off the day with Cleveland and Toronto. Blue Jays. And I was able to get the Blue Jays at plus 110. Now, here's your biggest favorite of the day, which I kind of like that. I kind of like that the card is like, it's 5 games, but the biggest favorite's minus 145. So that's actually kind of interesting. Yu Darvish taking on Sonny Gray. Yu Darvish this year has pitched all of 3 times. He hasn't been horrible. I mean, he's allowed he hasn't been great. 9 earned runs in 13 innings. I'm not going to dive too deep into him. Pitching advantage is going to go to Sonny Gray, who has pitched 20 times this year, 9-4 record, 4.04 ERA, has a complete game in there, a 111 and third innings pitched, 50 earned runs, 19 walks, and 123 strikeouts. So he has been very solid for this Cardinals team that has really kind of taken a turn for the worse since the All-Star break, getting swept by Arizona and then losing 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. That's very, very concerning. But pitching advantage towards St. Louis. Hitting advantage is also with St. Louis, 107 WRC plus versus San Diego, who is sitting, 98 WRC plus. So they're not great at all. So pitching and hitting advantage is both with the St. Louis Cardinals, and the line's moving towards them, 130 to 145. So all that's going the right way. And the money is not coming in on them, so that makes me like them even more. I think this could be a good spot for them. So, like I said, it's going to be a light card, and I've bet the first 3 games. Let's go ahead, and we can grab the run line here. 145. I'm seeing 145 is the biggest number for the Cardinals on the run line. So sign me up for some St. Louis action today. Bounce back spot. Hitting, pitching, and market edge for St. Louis. Plus 145 on the run line. Padres. No, I'm not interested in the Padres today. Padres money line. No. Need 1 inning from these guys. Nerfy. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Brewers 1 seed plus 400 on DraftKings. I'm going to tell you, I'm not interested in that at all. Just because I feel like you're buying them way too high. And I know it sucks, but you could have keep in mind, you could have gotten a way better line a couple of weeks ago before their big stretch. Everybody sees their 12 and 1 stretch, and they're going to all jump on them. I'm not going to buy it just yet. Now, if this continues and we're looking 2 weeks from now, and they go from this 12 and 1 and they're 20-4 in their last 24, then you could have my interest. But I need to wait a little bit. I need to see what happens to the trade deadline. I just don't see them buying like crazy. So that's my one problem with them. Allen over strikeouts. I could definitely see the Orioles striking out a bunch, considering that they are one of the worst teams and they have a 25% K rate versus lefties this year. Sure, go for it. First 5 under. Sure. I don't hate that at all. I think that's a really, really good spot. I also think that Sonny Gray is going to be able to shut down the Padres. So it's 128 now. I still like the line. I still like it. Let's keep on rolling. And I have a feeling I'm not going to like this one, but I have a feeling there's going to be edges on it, but I'm just not touching the freaking Athletics anymore because they've been dreadful. But we get Luis Severino and Alexander. I will say, Severino is a guy that I want traded, and I would want him back on my Mets. You've got Severino, who has a 6.68 ERA at home and a 3.1 on the road, meaning Sacramento sucks for hitting, for pitching. That's what it's showing me. But he's got 21 starts this year, a 3-11 record with a 5.1 ERA. That doesn't show me what I want to see from Severino. That does not matter to me. 118 and a third innings pitched, 67 earned runs, 39 walks, 84 strikeouts. He has been light years different on the road than at home. On the opposite side, you got Jason Alexander, who's a relief pitcher. He's made one start, and ironically, it was against the Athletics about a month and a half ago. He allowed 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, and a 13-3 win. But it's just not a spot that I'm going to give Severino the pitching advantage. I strongly believe that. I think he's got a pitching advantage here. Then you go to hitting, which both of these guys are righties. I believe Houston's got the hitting advantage there. Houston does, not by a whole lot. Houston 103, Athletics 102. So it's right down the middle there. Athletics are... The line is moving towards the Athletics, all of 3 cents, with the money coming. Damn it, I'm taking the Athletics, aren't I? So much for a slow day. I'm going to be betting the first 4 games on the freaking card. Not to mention there's some CFL and some WNBA today that I'm also going to be betting. So fun. Give me the Athletics here. Man, I could take a big shot. No, I'm not going to take a big shot. Plus 110 I can get on the Athletics. God, I hate this. Frick it. Oakland here. Pitching and market edge. Astros, no. A's, yes. Appreciate the retweet, Fernando, on Twitter. A's bullpen is gross. Yes, it is. It's still the Athletics. I realize that. Final game of the day. We get the Seattle Mariners and the Angels, the LA Angels, which Angels are in a horrible spot because they just had to travel from across the country from New York. But we get Logan Evans taking on Yusei Kikuchi, which makes them a favorite, which, yeesh. Logan Evans this year, 10 starts, 3-3 record, 3.81 ERA, 54 and a third innings pitched, 23 earned runs, 17 walks, and 40 strikeouts. He's been solid. Yusei Kikuchi this year was their all-star. If you want, I feel like Joe Adele probably should have gotten it, but 21 starts, a 4-6 record at 3.13 ERA, 118 innings pitched, 41 earned runs, 49 walks, and 23 strikeouts. So he's been solid. I will give the pitching advantage to the All-Star in Kikuchi. And then in terms of hitting advantage, Seattle versus lefties is 8th in baseball, 106 WRC plus. Angels against righties are 20th in baseball, 101 WRC plus. So split it down the middle. And the line's moving towards the Angels. Here's the deal. I'm not touching the Angels today. They're in a horrible spot. I don't care what the market movement's telling me. This will be the game that I pass on. I don't like backing teams on traveling across the entire country. So it would be Mariners or nothing for me. With this line movement, though, it's nothing. Pass. Why am I not seeing Luis Severino player props anymore? I don't know. I don't really bet player props. You like Fever and the over. I will be honest, I have not even looked at the WNBA card yet. But Drew, if you DM me on Twitter, I'll let you know. Mariners, bad travel spot for the Angels. Yes, I agree. Angels, I'm liking both pitcher props over their Ks. Reminds me of the Brewers game yesterday. I could see that. And when you got a Angels team that strikes out at a 25.3% clip against right-handed pitching, which I believe is second to worst in baseball. The only team that strikes out more versus righties is Colorado. I don't hate a Logan Evans strikeout prop today. So you got that. But I'm not going to go crazy with that. Well, short show today, but when it comes to only a 5-game card, that's fine. We end up having 4 plays. If you want the WNBA and the CFL play, those will be on the picksandparleys.net website, and they will be on the card for the member only. So if you guys are interested in that, you can either go over to picksandparleys.net and grab it over there, or become a member of the YouTube channel on the Earle Sports Bets YouTube. But that is everything. See you tomorrow. Yes, you'll see me tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yes, you will see me tomorrow. I'm going to try to do – so here's the deal. I'm going to try to do shows on the weekend. Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday might be a little bit shaky. If you guys did not know, I am moving back from Raleigh to Greenville. So those days might be a little bit tricky. And then with my new job in Greenville – the hours might be a little bit weirder, so it might be a little bit later shows. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to all work out yet. We're going to try to do it based off the schedule. But next week might be a little bit up in the air. I'll let you guys know as we go along. But we'll see how that goes. I'm talking about the Mariners game. Oh, well, good luck. That's what I was just talking about. Logan Evans strikeout prop versus the Angels. Wasn't I was just, yeah. Raleigh is my nickname. Rolly. Here you go. Thank you, bro. I got you, Stop Geo. NFL look-ahead show this week, off-season moves and such. I think I'm going to be doing another futures video. I'm going to be doing it for the NFL will be Cincinnati or Chicago. And then I'm still trying to figure out a small school to do for college. And I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 college videos as well. When I get back to Raleigh, I'll be able to do a little bit more research because I've been doing a bunch of stuff trying to move and everything. So it's been a little bit of a crazy week. It's going to be a crazy week next week too. But yeah, my fault. You sounded like Allen. I did mention a Logan Allen prop earlier. Just because the Baltimore Orioles versus left-handed pitching strikes out 25.1% of the time, which is 5th worst in baseball behind the Giants, the Rangers, the Colorado Rockies, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are the only ones that strike out more versus lefties. But I don't hate Logan Allen props as well. I will mention that one. Appreciate it, Stop Geo. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll see you guys again tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys.